For most people, a coffin may simply represent a final resting place, but for archaeologists, it can hold clues to a long-lost world. And when a coffin is unearthed in Spain that promises to upend what we thought we knew about European history, it's time to sit up and take notice. The discovery is a game changer with the potential to rewrite our understanding of this continent's past. In today's video, we'll explore the incredible significance of the coffin recently found by archaeologists in Spain. Archaeologists working in Los Villaricos, which is located in the southeast of Spain, have discovered a Visigoth coffin that has been remarkably well preserved. A month ago, the discovery was made public by the University of Murcia, or UMU. The well-preserved coffin was discovered by researchers while they were excavating Roman ruins at Los Villaricos in the southern region of Spain. The casket was decorated with geometric designs and interlocking ivy leaves. According to a report by a regional news outlet called Murcia Today, the sarcophagus most likely dates back to the 6th century CE, which was the time when the Visigoths and other Germanic tribes attacked lands that had previously been controlled by the defunct Roman Empire. During a summer dig at Los Villaricos, which was a large-scale agricultural village created by the Romans about the 1st century CE, archaeologists from the University of Murcia discovered a coffin measuring around 2 meters or about 6.5 feet in length. According to Heritage Daily, the sarcophagus was interred in a Roman villa that the Visigoths used for a different purpose after the building had been abandoned about the 5th century CE. The central patio portion of the edifice was utilized by the Germanic conquerors as a cemetery after they took control of it. In an interview with Carmen Garcia Cortez of Historia National Geographic, lead archaeologist Rafael Gonzalez Fernandez is quoted as saying, "This year's campaign was focused on finishing excavating the last 3 burials in the necropolis and continuing with the excavation work of the complex located north of the town. As we cleaned what appeared to be a sculptural element, it turned into a spectacular sarcophagus," Gonzalez Fernandez stated. What had appeared to be a sculptural element was actually a sarcophagus, and its chronology, in the absence of a more detailed analysis and study, would most likely be somewhere around the 6th or even 7th century. The Tau Rho, often known as the religious marker, is included on the headboard, along with inverted Alpha and Omega. According to several historical sources, it would have been a sign of the beginning and the end, which is symbolically represented by the crucifixion of Jesus. During the time of the Romans, Los Villaricos was a rural community that was home to a sprawling villa. In the past, it was used as a residential neighborhood, and it also featured thermal baths and industrial processing facilities for the manufacture of oil, wine, and other products. During the excavations, a central courtyard as well as mosaics, numerous types of ceramics, tile pavements, limestone tesserae in a range of colors, and coins were discovered. The Visigoths repurposed Los Villaricos as a place to bury their dead, and one of the rooms was turned into a structure with an apse that may have been used for religious purposes. Gonzalez Fernandez said that the Roman villa's oasis, which is similar to a main hall or salon in a modern home, was converted into a church. This would explain the presence of the burials located next to the church, he said. The church was built on top of a graveyard. According to the researchers, each of the 42 reported tombs that have been unearthed up to this point has been placed around the apsidal space. Additionally, skylights adorned with imagery from the Christian religion have been discovered in that region. They were created sometime after the end of the 5th century and before the beginning of the 7th century CE. Germanic people who lived during the migration period were known as the Goths. During the 4th century CE, they divided into 2 groups, the Visigoths who lived in the west and the Ostrogoths who lived in the east. The Visigoths were able to successfully launch an invasion of the Roman Empire, which propelled them to prominence as one of the most powerful kingdoms in Western Europe. They went on to rule Spain and Gaul until 711 CE. According to a statement, the researchers at first believed that they had discovered a pilaster, which is a type of rectangular column. Gonzalez, in an interview with the London Times, stated, "We weren't expecting this spectacular discovery." Murcia Today reports that the group discovered a Chi Rho symbol engraved into the lid of the coffin during their investigation. In his article for Aletheia, Philip Kozlowski says that the monogram, which is also known as a Christogram, is formed by superimposing the first two letters of the Greek word for Christ, which are chi and rho, or X and P. It is a symbol of Jesus, and more specifically to the resurrection of Jesus. It is said that during this time spent in prayer, the Roman Emperor Constantine had a vision in which he saw the chi rho symbol and decided to use it as a military standard. At some point in time, it was incorporated into the official imperial symbol. The monogram is also seen in a great number of early Christian works of art. According to the Times, Los Villaricos was established along a trade route that connected Carthage and Complutum, a hamlet located northeast of Madrid. This information comes from the Times, and as its peak, the ancient settlement was predominantly agricultural, engaged in the production of olive oil and the storage of it, among other activities. During the time that the Romans occupied this region, the town underwent a number of different remodeling projects. According to information provided by Murcia Today, after the Romans left, the Visigoths moved in, took power, and repurposed numerous Roman constructions. One of these structures was the Via in Los Villaricos. According to the National Geographic, the Visigoths converted the big room in the Via, known as the Oecus, into a Christian basilica somewhere between the 5th and 7th century CE. The Oecus had previously served as a place for the Via's owner to entertain distinguished visitors. In addition to this, they converted the adjacent patio space into a holy necropolis. According to the assertion, the excavation was carried out by archaeologists in 3 distinct stages. The first incident took place in a region that provided the community with its water supply. The second one concentrated on the so-called pool region, where ancient people created and kept some unidentified substance, while the third one concentrated on the graves located around the town. According to National Geographic, local city councilor Diego J. Boluda told the publication that this sarcophagus shows the archaeological power of Los Villaricos and confirms our commitment to the University of Murcia. Without a shadow of a doubt, the piece would be given prominent display within the museum in the city there. Visigoths, a member of a subgroup of the Goths, one of the most influential of German peoples, the Visigoths severed their ties with the Ostrogoths in the 4th century AD, carried out multiple incursions into Roman territory, and founded vast kingdoms in both Gaul and Spain. When they were invaded by the Huns in 376, the Visigoths were settled farmers in Dacia, which is now a part of Romania. They were driven southward across the Danube River into the Roman Empire as a result of this invasion. They were given permission to enter the empire, but the demands made by Roman officials quickly prompted them to rebel and loot the provinces in the Balkans with the assistance of certain Ostrogoths. They decisively defeated the Roman army of Emperor Valens on the plains outside of Adrianople on August 9, 378, and the emperor himself was one of the casualties of that battle. They continued their quest for a permanent home for the next 4 years while they were on the move. Theodosius I, who succeeded Valens, established them as federates in the region of Moesia, located in the Balkans, in October 382. He gave them land in that region and charged them with the responsibility of guarding the frontier. It was around this time that the Visigoths were believed to have turned to the Arian branch of Christianity. They remained in Moesia until the year 395 when, under the leadership of Alaric, they left there and proceeded first toward the south into Greece, and then they marched on to Italy, which they frequently invaded beginning in the year 401. The plundering they committed culminated in the sacking of Rome in the year 410. Alaric passed away in the same year that Ataulfus took over as ruler of Visigoths. Ataulfus led the Visigoths to settle first into southern Gaul and subsequently in Spain by 415. In the year 418, they were brought back from Spain by the patrician Constantius, who would later become emperor as Constantius III, and they were settled by him as federates in the province of Aquitania Secunda, between the lower portions of the Garonne and Loire rivers. Soon after the settlement in Aquitaine was carried out, their chieftain Wallia passed away, and he was succeeded by Theodoric I, who ruled them until he was murdered in 451, fighting against Attila in the Battle of the Catalonian Plains. Theodoric I is the first Visigothic leader who can be accurately classified as a monarch. He ruled over the Visigoths in the 4th century. The Visigoths continued to be federates until the year 475 when Theodoric's son Euric declared himself to be an independent king. During this time, the Visigoths made a concerted effort to expand their territory, frequently at the expense of the empire. Fragments of Uric's Latin-written legal code have been discovered, demonstrating that he also codified the laws that had been issued by both himself and his predecessors. It was also under his reign that the territory of the Gallic Kingdom, of which Toulouse served as capital, expanded to its greatest extent. It encompassed the majority of Spain and reached from the Loire to the Pyrenees, as well as the lower parts of the Rhone River. Uric was succeeded by his tolerant son Alaric II, who in the year 507 was beaten and slain by Clovis and the Franks at the crucial battle of Vouillé near Poitiers. The Visigoths lost all their lands in Gaul as a direct result of the Battle of Vouillé and the exception of Septimania. Septimania was a narrow strip of land that extended down the coast from the Pyrenees to the Rhone, and Narbonne was its city. The Franks were never able to take Septimania away from the Visigoths. From that point forward up to the year 711, when they were finally eradicated by the Muslims, the Visigoths ruled over Septimania and a large portion of Spain, with Toledo serving as their capital. That's all for today's video, but we'll be right back with more soon. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.